Happy New Year! Yeah! So now that it's 2024, tell me about those New Year's resolutions from last year. Did you complete any? Did you get any of that done? Me neither, but that's actually going to change this year because today we're starting our New Year's art resolutions. By this time next year, hopefully we'll all have completed our goal. So some could say that this is a 2-part episode. So if you want to show your loyalty for 3Ps this year, then stick around. Maybe you'll get a special prize or something, I don't know.
Wait for a 3Ps video. Can we order food from TikTok shop and review it?
Oh my gosh, that'd be so funny.
Would we eat it? I feel like
We'd have to eat it. We'd have
well,
to
if
eat
somebody
it.
else had
If
ate
it
the
was a
chamoy
chamoy-
and didn't die, then
I don't think we'd die. Like
I
I
would
just
like throw up.
If-
yeah.
we
It would,
wouldn't-
no,
we
we
wouldn't
wouldn't
do,
throw up.
like,
It would just be gross.
We wouldn't do like meat or anything. It'd be
Yeah,
something that
it
would be
Ew,
like
meat.
lettuce,
like the chamoy Pokemon.
like the chamoy. Okay.
So first of all, the canvas size is gonna be changing a lot.
Okay.
It's mainly just how wide and how tall it is. So I guess it's just any dimension on there. So I started off first by doing a loose sketch because
a loose.
I was trying to make it like
Like the first-
expressive, and let's just say, a lot of changes happened. These are my 4 characters I made up about. It was definitely pre-COVID.
Our Provid
Get
era.
us in our
BC.
Provid era.
It was BC before COVID. I mean, it was a long time ago, BC, and they kind of have honestly stayed pretty much the same, except for the knights had, well, I guess they're all knights, but the human knights all used to wear
Face
a
helmet.
face helmet, yeah, helmet.
Face helmet.
But I decided that's kind of boring AF.
I mean, technically they could still have those. But
No, they could, but like for this,
most
I
of the
wanna
time they're not
show,
gonna wear it, yeah.
So there's 2 guys and a girl, and then a monster
So
guy.
it's kind of like you just added her for the diversity.
Yeah, the forced.
The
This is very
representation.
forced representation diversity. This is actually incredibly non-diverse. An elementary
kind of how I
schooler.
felt when I was drawing.
This
it.
is
That's how
so
I felt when I
cute.
was drawing mine.
I'm
as
so
well.
confused why you don't like it.
I think I like the other one. I made so much more, but
I feel like this is cute.
I was
Also, these
like,
are
It's okay
different
because ebb and
characters.
flow.
yeah, because I was also gonna say like it's the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
So this is just my beginning point. It's only gonna go up.
But I think it's cute.
I like this guy.
Thanks.
He reminds me of how I would draw Vicstar123.
Honestly, like
I don't
their
think it looks weird.
poses are just. I don't really know what I was thinking. If
I
you're
think
gonna
it's
ask
cute.
and say, like,
Tell
okay,
me about
what-
your struggles. Tell me about how you
Playing
hopped to those
Tomb
turtles.
I will say the warp tool was my friend here.
The warp tool is always my friend.
love it
like
so
my
much.
crutch. Like it's
Yeah.
actually bad.
No, but I think that's good though. One of the character designers I follow, Jackie Drucko, she always uses the warp tool because she's like it adds flavor and stuff after you do the sketch. Because sometimes it might be too stiff when you're first doing it, so you can really just play around with it. And I was like, I'm going to use that.
That's interesting. I've never thought about that.
Yeah, so I kind of like distorted the forms to try to play with the proportions, but
I
Works.
think you could honestly even take the like in the beginning, like with the initial sketch you had, like the forms were pushed a lot farther.
Yeah, I was
Yeah, I
gonna say
think-
sometimes it's easy, like the proportional thing,
Mhm.
especially when you're doing like the more like clean line art. Even unintentionally, you're like, oh, the proportion, because that's like what you're taught.
Mhm.
Also, because things can still be considered proportional, even if they're exaggerated.
I also like went back to the sketch at some point. I should have just had it pulled up kind of the whole time, but I didn't because I may have done this all in a couple hours. Definitely agree. I should have pushed the forms more, just because, like I keep saying, my other one, I may insert a picture, maybe not, because then it'll be like, why didn't you just show that one instead? Because it's way more successful.
Anyway, that's just kind of how. That's
and
kind of.
flow.
That's
But then, like, yeah, that's why you keep.
That's
you keep
what
doing
all people say. I like the
They don't-
colors a lot.
Thanks. They don't have any names.
it. Names are the
They've
hardest
never
part.
had names. And this little monster guy has looked pretty much the exact same since I first
And
made
he's
him.
cute.
And I love him. I have like such an attachment
like a marshmallow.
because he's cute.
This is like Big Hero 6.
I'll
This
probably
is
do
giving
more,
major Baymax vibes. I don't even feel like they're from Sanford and Tokyo.
I'll
That
probably
movie,
do
actually.
It's such a good movie.
more monster characters in the future because he's the only one. Like he's got no one. Well, his best buddy right here. Yeah, obviously he's not like a monster flume.
Monster.
Well, I think it's cute because it kind of shows the like already you have the building of the world. Obviously, it's like, oh, there's a little monster guy, so it's like humans and monsters, but
Yeah.
like they obviously like live together.
I'm gonna insert a picture of a project that I did with these 2 guys. If you're wondering, I used Python to make the sparkles in the photo, and it was kind of hell, but it ended up working. So I've had them for a very long time, and I'm definitely gonna continue their story and actually give them names.
Yeah, and it's cute. So
I'm going down to the railway
Okay, so the
station.
first
random,
the
like,
clay
sketch.
pigeons that I did, I was trying to find a new brush for this because I like my sketchy brush, but it always had, it's a little like, yeah, experiment. I wanted to experiment, and also sometimes because it's textured, whenever I size it up or scale it, it gets really, really blurry.
Yeah.
Regardless, I used this other brush that I had from a random pack I downloaded. It was like RR pen, or I don't
Books
even,
and things.
books and things. Yeah, I see. You see, I took out the English because I was like,
Oh.
I don't really.
What
It
language
looks-
is this?
If there's not language, I just
Oh.
wrote
It kind of
scribbled.
looks like Lord of the Rings or something. Is there a language in that?
It looks
I'm
elven.
sure there is.
Oh yeah, there is, because Link Neil has a picture he has like the runes or something on his, like as a tattoo on his arm.
Yeah,
for his daughter.
interesting.
That is so funny.
For mine, I wanted to focus on getting better like visual development for like landscapes and cities, and I decided because like towards the end of the year, in 2023 I was doing some like landscape practice. For this, I want to do more like a little city area because I find that they're kind of more fun to draw because you can add so much random stuff. And then the buildings don't really have to make sense. So I want to do the city because you can kind of do whatever, like how this orange building in the middle has some weird extension on the top, like that doesn't make sense. But I would say one of the harder things about this is the scaling, like to do the doors and the windows. Not really so much the windows because the windows can be really any size, but especially a door. Like if you're thinking about like, oh, humans walking through this is too small or too big for the size of the building. But I thought it was kind of a fun challenge to have, and I really just played around with like the texture. I love making some texture, and because I was using a new brush, I played around with that as well. But yeah, imaginative space, and I love doing skies. So even though the sky in the background is really small and simple, that's like one of
Small
my
and
favorite.
simple.
It's small.
I feel like you did kind of a good job at keeping the proportion. The orange
Thanks.
door is like kind of big, but I feel like it kind of just feels like not fisheye, but kind of that I'm like it's coming out at me.
It feels like a lot of the like lines and stuff are like kind of intentionally not like perfectly straight. you
Yeah,
know?
I did-
'Cause obviously, you didn't use like a
Yeah.
ruler or anything.
I honestly was trying to make it more
and I like that.
exaggerated, less clean, because once again, like especially with buildings, because obviously real life architecture and all that, so geometric, linear, nothing's really gonna be curved. If it's curved, it's really purposeful. But obviously, like, normally with my art, it's a little not messy, but I do really like texture.
She's a messy
So
girl.
she's a messy girl. She's a lazy girl era.
Era. She is. Era.
Yeah, since YouTube video literally said things you need to take into 2024, leaving your lazy girl era. And I'm just thinking that is the most like Gen Z influencer.
The thing that I'm taking into the new year is that I'm leaving my lazy girl era.
She's gonna be like going walks in the morning.
Yeah. Have a really, really long morning routine because you
Yeah.
have that much time in the
For
morning.
no reason.
Like,
Wake up at 5 a.m.
wake up at
and do
2
nothing.
a.m.
yeah, so you can go to the gym.
Drink bone broth.
Yeah, only. Then you go to the gym and you come back and eat like an egg.
Yeah,
A single egg.
A single egg,
And then you have lemon tea,
you,
lemon
like,
water.
always
lay,
the lemon
and then
water.
you lay back in bed, and
Yes,
then
to
you
do
like
like
Yes,
your
because
work.
wait,
Or
yes,
something
because
like
your
check your emails in bed.
pitch black
It's
out,
like,
and
why
then
do
you go
we
to
wake
bed
up?
at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
So basically doing everything that a normal person would do except 4
Extremely
hours
skewed
earlier
for no
reason. Just because you're leaving your lazy girl era
Yeah.
behind.
Even my lazy girl
Productivity.
can't do anything because it's pitch black. My artwork is normally a little textured, but I thought that having the less geometric lines, kind of like messy, was really cool. And I found this one artist. I'll have to pull up their Instagram or Twitter. I don't remember which one it was. I was really inspired by their landscapes, and hopefully I can get something similar quality-wise one day because it's super good. I just really like it. I'm pretty proud of this how they came out. I did really like simple lighting and layering.
I love the variation in color in the buildings.
Thanks.
It's like how vibrant they are.
There's so much energy bouncing off the page. I just feel like I can feel.
I can almost taste.
I can taste the energy. I can feel the energy.
Feel the visceral reaction.
The vibes.
I can feel the vibes coming
Sorry,
out
my
of it.
vibes just weren't working with this.
Sorry,
Yeah.
this just gave me a vibe check.
Sorry, this is
This
just
is a
not the
mandated vibe
vibes.
check.
Ew.
Mandate.
Y'all remember that?
Yeah. So I have so many stories and like characters that I want to make into some sort of short animated experience, you know.
An animated experiential film.
Yeah, and I have not done it, and I want to do it. Steps in the correct direction, you know,
Yes.
finalizing character design. Still, I'm not finished with this one, because the problem is, would I ever be, though? That's the question. I don't know.
But sometimes that's fine though, just for however long you need to play around with it. Because at the end of the day, it's like it's it's your drawing, so you can.
Decide what you want her to look like.
Literally. I went the idea for this one is basically zombie apocalypse meets the North Pole.
Wait, that's cute though.
So she's an elf, and she was like an elf that worked at the reindeer stables.
Oh.
And when the zombie apocalypse, but it won't be like actually zombie apocalypse.
Yeah,
Basically,
something
I think
similar.
Mrs. Claus is gonna turn evil. And Santa is her whole mission is that she has to cure Santa from this like disease that Mrs. Claus puts on him. But she befriends a reindeer from her stable, and like everyone else at the stable, like, and all the elves that were working there get like the disease. But one, I don't know, like Donner or Dasher, Comet, even one of them.
Maybe-
Should be Blitzen. Wait, Blitzen's my personal fave. So.
Listen, she like ends up like riding him, and basically she also has this staff, and it's like a magical like Christmas spirit. Like there's an orb inside of it. It's kind of like snow globe-esque.
Cute.
And it's gonna have some tie-in to like she's also like a woodworker. So she crafts this staff, and then that helps her heal people, and she heals people along the way. But I have like 4 different little narratives that are all so wildly different that I was really struggling on deciding between for this. But I wanted to practice a turnaround anyway.
Yeah.
And also expressions, because
Yeah, she needs expressions.
good to be able to visualize a character in
Yeah.
multiple
See her personality.
position. Also, I'm gonna include photos of this. So like I had a lot of iterations like with a big coat,
Yeah.
and I like the idea of her hair having like the bells in them.
Yeah, that's so cute.
So I definitely want to go with that no matter what direction I go, but it's hard. It's just hard to choose one that I like the best.
I feel like it's always the hardest to choose with hair because it's like there's so many.
I feel like hair's so fun
Options.
to draw. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the idea of the bells being in her hair though. It's so cute. Like,
I love
and the
jingle
bells in
bells.
general, like how in this drawing you have it's like her earring type thing.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
Basically ice elf zombies.
That's
Were the
cute.
vision, that's the direction. Having to keep it super simplified, because I know that if I'm animating it, it'll take me forever
Yeah.
to do like things with a lot of detail. And so like there were a lot of times when I was doing this where I was like, okay, I want something to look a certain way, but I have to simplify it and like dumb it down more,
Yeah,
because if it were to actually be animated,
you don't want
it
to.
needs to
Yeah,
be
and
simplified.
because even if you did something that was theoretically add a little bit of detail, but you would still want the detail to be easily replicatable. If you did like a braid in her hair or something, I feel like that would be pretty easy to like recreate
Yeah.
because of the shape.
Especially because she's 2D. Like if she was 3D, then you wouldn't have to worry so much about the detail.
yeah.
But or lack thereof. But
I mean, I think this is a really
But even like
great
with her-
direction already though.
Thank you.
And I really like the orb. I mean, oh my gosh, the orb. The staff.
Yeah.
I guess technically there's an orb in there.
Even with her staff, like I know that if I were to be doing it, it probably wouldn't have a ribbon, but I wanted to add a ribbon just because
I mean,
wanted to.
Technically, that could be something that you could just add in the final stage. Like, if you
Yeah,
were
just
animating
knowing
it.
that like having to animate that one more piece of like moving
Yeah,
fabric
that's
would
true.
just be like,
It could maybe be tied, not really
yeah,
a super hanging off,
It
like
would
a really
if I-
tiny.
yeah,
You know,
it
like when
probably would
they
be
do those tiny little sprigs when you tie it, because those don't really
Yes.
move. Something like that would be cute.
So yeah,
This is really cute. We should make a video 2025, not 2025, end of 2024.
2024 recap.
Recreating, not redrawing it, but seeing the progress.
True. Yeah.
yeah,
So-
I agree. It's a good idea.
Growth. She's in her growth era.
This year is about my growth era.
Bag.
My grera.
Her
The
growth
Guerrero.
bag.
My growth bag.